That's the reality of it. Where you get the truth, where you get the real, where you get to see all the things that's going on all around you. And we tell it like it is.
Welcome to That's the Reality of It. I'm Maisha.
And I'm Claudia.
We have another great show. Stay here. We'll be right back.
So I switched my car insurance to State Farm. I saved $480. You know what that is?
Yeah, don't say it.
You know what it is, right?
Yeah, don't.
It's a lot of dough.
Switch and you could save $480 with State Farm.
It's a lot of dough.
See if Bryant Jenkins in Reisterstown can save you a lot of dough.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Who's booking your YOLO vacation?
Call Nicole, your land and cruise expert. Remember, the internet's for looking, but Nicole is for booking.
Welcome back to That's the Reality of It. I'm not sure how many recognize this young lady, Tanya Taylor, but she's been on a couple of times, and she has this unusual type of, would you call it a disease?
Well, yes, it is a disease. They call it a disease or a disorder. But
it's called, you have to pronounce it, it's a mouthful for me.
Gastroparesis.
Gastroparesis. Still hard to say.
It is. It takes a while practicing.
But you've had this for how long now?
Well, I was diagnosed, I found the first medical record from 2005, actually, when I started looking back. Mm-hmm. But I didn't learn that I had this until 2011. Wow. So it's been a long road.
And she has now gotten a proclamation from the governor proclaiming August as, you say the word?
Gastroparesis.
And here it is.
Awareness Month.
Awareness Month.
Yes.
Take a good long close-up of that.
So I think we have 19 states on now.
19 states.
I think it's 19.
Okay.
Yes.
So she's worked very hard to get this proclamation for Maryland because it's in 19 states, including Maryland now. And tell me what you've gone through, because to be honest with you, when I called you again not long ago, mm-hmm. I almost didn't expect you to answer the phone. I thought that you might be gone, because you look so much better now, though. You look better now than you did before.
Do you know? I know I think I was only 94 pounds when I met you.
Right.
But I had just gotten back on my IV nutrition, so which is what I'm actually hooked up to. That's what all this is, and it's in the bag. It takes a while to look like this. If you see me on my bad days, all of us can look great. You'd have no idea there was anything wrong with any of us, and then the next day, we look like we're walking death. And really, that's when you get to this state, that's really a lot of what happens. We've lost a number of friends. And
you told me that when I last talked with you, that you were getting ready to go to hospice. Mm-hmm. Hospice means you're just ready to die, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. You had given up.
I was ready to call hospice. And the new GI doctor, all the GI doctors, there's nothing more we can do. This GI doctor, I had said I can't, the pain is excruciating. And you can't tell I'm in pain. I've come to learn with a 8-9 to live in this 8-9 pain and learn how to put some color on and function.
A good face on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Your granules over there making noise. I'm gonna have to.
Yes. Sorry.
Come here. Let me. They don't think you're granny. Come here.
She
said, I don't want to get on there. But tell me you're living with 8 and 9 like from a scale of 1 to 10, you're living every day between 8 and 9.
And I can get through. I can put a face on, but then there's this certain, it's like I'm on a fence teetering. I can go over into that 10 plus at any time. And
Tell me the symptoms.
you've got bloating with eating, early satiety, meaning that you're full quickly when you eat, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, GERD, heartburn. A lot of the IBS symptoms are gastroparesis symptoms as well. And gastroparesis is one part, it's mainly discussing the stomach, the paralysis of the stomach, but I have digestive tract paralysis where it's through the entire digestive system. So I lost the colon from that.
So you no longer have a colon, right?
I have no bag. They were able to attach that down and save me from having a colostomy bag. Yes.
So how's your stool getting through to your body?
Just goes through my small intestine, and there's no colon to absorb any hydration. So it's hard to, that's why one of the reasons I need to stay on IV. But the other, because the small intestine doesn't function either, and the stomach doesn't function right, and I also get spasms with my esophagus where swallowing, it feels like it's going to explode at times. So I also had a neck surgery since I've seen you. I have Ehlers-Danlos, which I found out is why I have all the digestive. And I have several more back and neck surgeries, but I'm wondering if that'll help me.
I almost understand why you wanted to go to hospice. I don't know if I could live with all that
it's
pain.
Too much.
Because I just had colon surgery, right? Because of diverticulitis. And remember you used to tell me you had to move the food around to get down? Well, I'm having to do some of the similar things when I go to the bathroom. But what you're going through is unbelievable, and you are such a tough woman, man, and courageous. Tell me about your foundation. You have a foundation or your organization?
We started as gastroparesis and me, except as time went on, we network globally. So it's GP and Me Global. And because of being so sick, I've got everything filed, the projection for the nonprofit, the financial projection in 3 years, everything is done. But now I'm waiting to raise the funds to file it.
How can people help you? How can they support you?
Well, they can go to gpnmeglobal.org.
Okay.
So the organization we changed to gpnmeglobal.org because we network globally.
Okay.
And many other countries are going through.
So they can come and send donations and also whatever information that they may need, you can send to them.
They can let us know what they need. We have a temporary site up now while we're putting the main site that has all the information. But we also have a couple sites that we direct to other organizations.
Is there a number that they can call? Or?
They can call 443-623-5297 to get more information and go to the site gpnmeglobal.org.
Okay. And remember, this month is Gastroparesis month of August. So support her, contact her, any information you need to know. If you feel you have some of these symptoms and you want to make sure, contact Tanya and your gastrologist and find out what's going on, because this lady is courageous, tremendous. I could not live with 4 and 5 pain, let alone 8 and 9. Boy.
Well, I'm telling you, if I appreciate your help with this proclamation and making the call.
It was my pleasure. When I called him, I said, y'all better get that proclamation over to that woman.
And they did.
And they did right away.
They did.
I tell you, the power of TV. All right.
Yes.
I want to also give a shout out to the governor and his office for doing that. I know you still didn't have to, but we appreciate that you got that proclamation to Tanya.
And calling me and getting that information. Thank you so very much.
All right. So, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Take care.
At Liberty Animal Clinic, they know that your pet is a member of the family and you want to make sure they are healthy and receive excellent care. Their top veterinarians and staff will treat them like family and give the best care, medical treatment, and attention you can get anywhere. Liberty Animal Clinic provides these excellent services and they are open 6 days a week, including giving them a complete physical, and office hours are by appointment, so please call. Let your extended family
Join our family!
Make the most of those long summer days. Wake up ready for more fun in the sun after a restoring night's sleep on the new Beauty Rest mattress. And with Beauty Rest Endless Summer Savings, there's no better time to buy than now.
Beauty Rest Silver. Sophisticated design paired with intuitive technology that will leave you refreshed, restored, and ready for the day.
Visit the owner-operated Sleeptime Bedding and Mattress Showroom, where you will get personal attention.
Welcome back to Does That Make Sense? Okay, we're asking you. We want to see your emails on the website, the topics that we have coming up. We want to know what you think. We'll tell you what we think. We want to know what you think. The topic of today is women out of wedlock having all these babies and don't have no daddy in the picture that's helping out, and they seem to keep having these babies and getting paid through the government to take care of them. I am not feeling that. I'm not feeling I need to be taking. I mean, if you have one mistake, you know the guy ain't gonna hang around. He ain't taking care of them. Two, okay, not taking care of them. Don't give me three of them. You going through the same thing and it's a different daddy, or the same one ain't taking care of the first one. No. At that point, I'm thinking the government should cut that right there. Don't pay for no more of those children. Let them find a job and do something to pay for the rest of them.
Well, they actually do have programs where they require certain, you have to work or do a certain amount of community service or a certain amount of hours in a professional setting in order to keep your benefits.
No matter how many children you have?
I don't know if there is a number, of the children, but they are encouraging people who are on social service to, I guess, become more productive. That's a requirement.
That's the problem. They're getting too
productive. So it's not about them just not doing anything. Like, they have to try in order to keep the benefits going.
So if they're having more than one or two or whatever the babies they have, they have to work. I suppose they don't want
I believe the way it's going, I don't really know. I mean, just from people that I've spoken with, they apply for the service and they may receive the stamps or the money and the child care and the support. And in order to keep that, they have to do a certain amount of hours within the program. Mm-hmm. So the program does require for them to do something to retain the benefits.
Okay.
And I actually think that that's a great way to handle that type of situation, because like you said, we don't know what the situation is. I'm a fan of marriage. I am married and I have children. However, not all relationships, that result in having children also result in a marriage. So, ideally, yes, you have your unit, your family unit, but whatever the case may be, sometimes the mother is left alone with the children. And I think the important thing is not so much that we're saying we're not going to give the mother the money, but we're also looking at it as we're providing for the child. So, and like Maisha said, if they are showing, that they're trying, okay, I'm out here looking for a job, or I have a job, but it only pays this amount of money, and I have 3-4 kids that I have to feed, and, Joe Blow down the road, he's not helping me, or whoever it was, or, how many ever, or whatever. I think it is a hardship for that mom to take care of so many children, quote unquote, on her own, especially if she doesn't have any other family support. Now, if you're just trying to work the system, that's a different situation. But again, how do you really know? Because you have to look at someone's actions, not just their intentions. If they are out there working, but their job just happens to not pay that much, are we going to penalize the children who, like you brought up in another show, President Obama, and the fact that he used to say they grew up really poor. And then, fast forward years later, he became the president of the United States. So now we're not just talking about the mother and her choices, or the choices of the father not being responsible for his family, but also taking care of those children.
I mean, I hear what both of you saying, you know, but I'm sorry. If they're not married and they're having a child, I understand that maybe they thought they were going to be together.
Right.
Maybe they believe that that person's going to hang in there.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes if the guy ain't going to be hanging around, you know. Usually the women know, but they just like that guy. And they
aren't
have a
there
baby.
some cultures that require you to have 2.5 kids?
That require you to have it?
I mean, you know, like there is a cutoff, for population control.
Yeah.
So you're saying that we should practice some of those practices?
Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is the mother should practice those controls. You know, I'm saying that... I know. That's why she should not have that other one giving her a baby. Because...
Why?
Because if he is not taking care of that baby, and she got two mistakes I can live with. If you got 4 and 5 kids, and nobody's taking care of them babies, and you're there, and we're taking care of them through the tax system, something's wrong with that picture. That woman has got to know... Eventually, stop having those babies unless you're married, you got some support, or if you know this guy's going to take it. I mean,
if the mom is neglectful, it doesn't matter what the number is, whether it's 1 or 21. If the mom is neglectful, so to say after the 3rd you should stop, I'm trying to figure out why you're throwing that number out, because if they're not doing right with the first baby,
and the second,
maybe they just shouldn't have any children, right? But if they're doing great, I mean, some people I know have 4 kids and they have a great family structure, and they're single moms. I know some single moms. I mean, we all have our struggles. I know some married couples who are struggling. You know, so I don't know if I'm a proponent of marriage, and I think that the family unit, I think it takes a village.
Right.
And so the number I'm not understanding is the mindset of the parent and the responsibility of the parent, no matter,
Now, I agree with what you're saying, but y'all not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying not the kids. I know some single parent or single mothers that are awesome, that are taking care of them kids and don't want that man around. Okay, because
so it's okay if
or
they have
don't
5.
even need help, or
as
some
long as
don't
they can
even
take
need
care
help.
of them.
So it's okay. Okay.
As long as they can take care, they can have 20. As long as they can take care of them, and I'm not taking care of them. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You got the ones that are 4 and 5 kids, and all of them are getting money from the system. All of them getting money from the government. They ain't taking care of them. They sitting at home making babies, and we're taking care of them. That's who I'm talking about. Not the ones like single moms who are awesome and taking care of them and can do well and responsible. Even if they don't have a husband, or the husband might have gone, or whoever they made the baby with, but they are taking care of those children. I'm not taking care. I didn't get none of that, so why should I be paying for it? You see what I'm saying? I ain't getting none of that from them, so why am I paying for somebody else's fun? That's what I'm looking at.
Because you're not a mother that birthed a child.
And the mother should stop birthing their children if they get too many.
That's why it's easy for you to say what a woman should do, because you're a man. And you have never carried a woman for 9 months, and you have never birthed
Women
a
are
child.
tough.
All right.
I'm telling you. I could not, and I don't think any man can handle what women handles with birth. But all I'm saying is, if you don't have the money, even married couples, they have to think responsible. I can only afford 2 kids because I ain't making that kind of money. Okay? If you don't have the money and the man ain't hanging around, and you have 3 and 4 and 5 kids, then stop, or be responsible, or just stop, because
So now you're addressing an issue that we can actually go rewind and go back to the root. So the root of it then is to, are you saying educate women and men, or young women and young men, on responsible parenting, on responsible ways to raise children or have a family?
Responsible sex. That's what I'm saying. Responsible sex. They might have 3 and 4 and are responsible and know how to raise them. But if you know that you can't afford them, responsible sex activities. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have the ability to take care of them, stop having them. Responsible sex.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. So
All right.
that's
What do
my
you
opinion.
think?
That's their opinion. What do you
Let
think?
us
You tell
know.
us if I went too far with it. I don't know. Sometimes I do go too far. That's why I got these wonderful women right here to keep me in check. So we got another topic next week coming up. You might want to tune into because we ain't stopping. All right, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to get an inspired word from God? Then you should read the book, I Sing My Psalm. The author, Sheila Sanders, was inspired to write this book when God touched her spirit and gave her these words of inspiration that will benefit and inspire everyone that reads it.
I Sing My Psalm will brighten your day and give you the strength you may need to keep moving forward and reaching higher.
Get I Sing My Psalm, Volume 1 and 2, and let your day be nourished in a great and mighty way. If you're having a tough time selling your home or leasing your property, call Kemp & Associates Real Estate and Property Management, the real estate specialists. Kemp & Associates specialize in residential, commercial sales, and lease and property management. They have expert comprehension services for investors, property owners, first-time home buyers, landlords, and tenants. Call today to buy or list your property and see how fast it goes.
Kemp & Associates, your real estate specialist. Don't make a move without us.
Okay, we're back. Thanks for tuning in again this week for That's the Reality of It, and with Pastor Page, Monroe Page. Last week we talked about is Jesus God, and how you cleared that up where God is a spirit, and God, for us to be able to see him, became flesh, right?
Right, we need the Spirit of God.
Right. Now, the third part of that is the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, because he included that into the Trinity, right?
Right.
Tell us about that part.
Well, see, now they say Trinity. I think that's three, ain't it?
Right.
Okay, Trinity, but I don't know where to get the concept of Trinity, but it's some of them say that that's a logical thing, that all of it goes together, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. They could say that's three different. That's not three different gods, though.
Right.
There was only one God, because, like we say, you need the Spirit of God, and the Spirit of God is in you. Mm-hmm. The word said, "Greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world," and that's why we talk about the Spirit of God being born, being filled with the Spirit. So you need to be filled. We was back there in the Old Testament a bit ago, but God was walking with them. You know, I did travel by pillar of clouds, a fire at night and the clouds by day, but God was never in them. And so now, since we become born again and filled with God's Spirit, it says, "Greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world." So the greater one now is in us. That make us just like God inside. See what I mean? The Spirit of God is what should be leading you and guiding you now. And so since we talk about Jesus being God, Jesus is God, but they would have never known that Jesus was God if he had never been manifested.
Right.
They would have, just like in the Old Testament, they always see the Spirit, the wind, the blow, just like the wind. You can't see the wind, but you can feel it.
Right.
They couldn't see God, but they could see the action and things that was happening. But whenever they come into the New Testament, we talk about when Jesus hung on that cross,
right,
and when that veil was rent into, and he said, "It's finished." That was it. Then we could say, "Greater is He that is in you than he is in the world." He can get in you now. See, God need a body. Mm-hmm. God cannot operate, but he needs a body to work in. Mm-hmm. That's why we're here.
And the Holy Spirit is the part of him in that body.
In that body. That's why the word said, "Present your body a living sacrifice, holy and unacceptable unto God." Mm-hmm. So be not conformed through this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. And see, that everything that we're doing is a mind thing. And if your mind don't change, you don't change. You're still the same person. So that's why the word said, "Let this mind be in you, which is in Christ Jesus." And when you get the mind of Christ, you'll walk like Christ. You'll talk like Christ. You'll act like Christ. Your attitude, your disposition, all these kind of things, it changes all the way around.
But you can't get that until you're born again, right?
Until you're born again. That's the only way. Because it says, "Greater is He that is in you." So that greater one got to get in you for you to make that change. We got a lot of good people. Mm-hmm. But that don't mean that they're really saved.
Right.
A lot of them got a lot of good people in the church. And they've been going to church all their life. Mm-hmm. But they never made that change. Okay. You see what I mean? Because you say your little boy, mama carried you to the church down on the corner.
Right.
And you've been going to that church all your life. Mm-hmm. And you've been the same person. Nothing changed because you didn't get a renewal of your mind. So you feel like, "I'm all right."
Right.
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm good.
I'm a good person.
No,
so
I'm a good person.
I got to go to heaven because I'm a good person.
Now, I'm a good person, but
it says the word says he would have came down here if being good was enough.
Right. That's right. He had to come and save us because whenever he kicked the devil out of heaven, he kicked him down here on this earth.
No way he do that.